Okay, well that was not fun at all. And we'll talk about that game, the Eagles 49ers. That will be what this video is about. However, I am going to talk about the future of this channel first, and also kind of why I haven't been posting as much, and what the future of it's going to be for this channel during the off season. I haven't posted as regularly as I was, mainly because this was kind of what I was planning on doing anyway. I planned on having the same schedule all the way through the regular season, and then just kind of figure out videos during the playoffs. Obviously, I'm still going to be posting the predictions video, and something that I haven't done is post my reasoning video, I guess you can say, video like this where I'm actually talking about the game. So that I will start doing next week for the NFC and AFC championship game. But mainly the reason I kind of didn't. Power rankings is done for the year. We're done with power rankings. We're not doing that anymore this off season, this playoffs. Maybe I'll do one final. Well, my power rankings are going to be like my team ratings, which will probably come out later. So that's what this beginning is going to be. So if you want to see my actual analysis of the 49ers Eagles game, I'll put the timestamp somewhere here, and you can skip there. But this video is going to be this part of the video is going to be the future of the channel. It's been a fun ride already. First season doing this, hit 500 subscribers, so thank you. And we're not done. We have a lot of videos that I'm still planning on making this off season. First off, we have my season reaction video that will be coming out at the end of the playoffs after the Super Bowl, so probably like within that week. Another thing that's going to happen after the Super Bowl is I'm going to have a team analysis of all the teams, AFC and NFC, and then I'll have a video specifically for the Eagles that I will be that video will just be the Eagles, and then it will the other videos are going to be more or less hand waves of the AFC teams and the NFC teams. So I'll be kind of going through each team and kind of my initial thoughts on the team and how I think they can improve. But yeah, that will be that video. So that's also coming out. Another thing that is going to be also coming out is my top 10 worst picks of the year and top 10 best picks of the year. So if you don't know what I mean, I'm talking about like my score predictions or my divisional predictions I made at the beginning of the year. I'll be going over all of that and seeing, okay, what was the top 10 worst decisions you could say I made this season, and what was the top 10 best picks, decisions, whatever you want to call it, that I made. So that'll be kind of a funny, humorous video. Both will be coming out pretty soon. Will also be coming out during the off season. Another thing that I will be doing is I'll be reacting to my initial divisional predictions, one for each video. So I was only able to do all the way up to the NFC East, so I did all the AFC and then the NFC East. So I'll be reacting to those 5 videos as well. That'll also come this off season, and then also some other videos talking about the trade deadline and not the initial trade, free agency frenzy kind of stuff that's going to start up in March, and then the draft, all that. So this is kind of a lead up all the way up into the draft. And then after the draft, things are going to wane down. I'll make a video about the power rankings. Regular season predictions. The schedule release. The season schedule release in May. I'll make a video on my thoughts on the Eagles schedule, game by game, and then I'm probably not going to post as much unless there's like massive news that comes out. That's when I would post. If there's like a trade that went down between the NFC East teams and stuff like that, or the Eagles made a crazy trade or something like that. So that will be my that will be when I post. And then when the season starts back up again in August and September is when I'm going to go back to posting regularly. Predictions, score predictions, power rankings, and then my predictions. Those videos will come out. Again, same schedule. So that'll be some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing this off season. So we're not done. We have a lot that we're going to be covering, and we have a lot we're going to be doing. So it's going to be a fun next couple of months from March all the way to April, probably to May. So that will be what's up. That's what's going to be happening with this channel during the off season. Now, let's get into the Eagles game. Yes. Okay, where do I begin? Okay. I was upset at this. However, we did fire Kevin Patullo after the game, so about a day or so after the game. We should have fired him like within the first hour of losing, but he is finally gone. And we can work towards getting someone that's not Kevin Patullo. Anyone. Honestly, anyone's better. Yeah. So, first, we got that out of the way. Kevin Patullo is fired, as he should be. Is Nick Sirianni next? No, I don't think so. Probably in a couple of years, if the Eagles continue to do this, where they have like one good year and then they follow it with like barely making the playoffs, and then they have another good year and then they can't get, because that seems to be what's happened. 2021 we made the playoffs. We lost to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I mean, we were the 7th seed, so we were kind of expected to lose. Then in 2022 we made the Super Bowl, losing it to the Chiefs. Then in 2023 we had the crazy collapse, losing in the wild card round again, and then last year we won the Super Bowl. And then this year we lose in the wild card round again after having a kind of a mediocre collapse of no offense. So if that trend continues, if we continue to win Super Bowls or at least make Super Bowls, he's probably not going to get fired. That would be very annoying if it can constantly is we make the Super Bowl or NFC Championship game and then we don't even make the playoffs or we barely make the playoffs. That's annoying. And I think after a while he will be fired if that continues. Now, let's get into the game itself. Because we played well. I would say in that first half or so, first really like 3 quarters, well, not 3 quarters. I would say like first half, we pretty much won. We outplayed the 49ers ultimately. The defense was really good, and the offense was starting to get some momentum. Then Brock Purdy ended the half with fumbling the ball away, and that was the end of the game, end of the first half, and we're up 13-10, so okay. I'm thinking, yeah, we actually have a shot. Now, it all comes crashing down in the third quarter, because there was no turnovers at this moment. So it's like, okay, when is there going to be a turnover? Well, there finally was a turnover. And we did nothing with it on offense. So, Quinyon Mitchell gets a good interception. And we do absolutely nothing with the ball offensively. Because we're now back to the same offensive struggles that we've had all year. Eventually, I think it's, yeah, and then the 49ers eventually take the lead and make it 17-13. Or it's 16. No, I think we kick a field goal, and then they take the lead, and it's 16-17. Then we kick another field goal, and we have the lead 19-17 with like 5 minutes left. Or like 8 minutes left. 49ers go down and score a touchdown. They miss, I forget if they missed the extra point or missed they didn't get the 2-point conversion, but it's 23-19. I'm thinking there's enough time. Offensively, are we doing well? Not really. But they're showing all the highlights and all that of, yeah, Jalen Hurts is like Mr. Playoff and he'll get it done. And I'm thinking, okay, I believe. That was a mistake. Because we did get down the field. And we got within striking distance of a touchdown with plenty of time on the clock. So my biggest concern at the moment is scoring scoring too early. Because there was over a minute still on the clock. Now that slowly went down. And it was like 30 seconds now. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I think we're alright. We'll be fine. Then it's 3rd and 11, and it's nearly picked. No, it's now 4th and 11, and it's nearly intercepted. Fortunately, it was not. And I'm thinking, okay, well, now we're down to this one play to save our season. I mean, we already had a 4th down at one point, and we got it, so hopefully we can get it here. Jalen Hurts throws into triple coverage. Dallas Goedert has been amazing. I understand. But you have A.J. Brown who is at one-on-one. And we throw to triple coverage to Dallas Goedert. Ball's tipped, game over, 49ers win. Now, why am I not very, about it? Number one, I predicted this. I predicted that we would lose this game. We, as a team, have not played well enough offensively. Defensively, we've been amazing. Offensively, we have not played well enough to get back to the Super Bowl, or at least get to the NFC Championship game. Now, I knew, going in to the final week of the season, we had an opportunity to get the 2 seed. Bears lost. All we had to do was beat the Commanders. With Josh Johnson. We couldn't even do that. We lose, and we get the 3 seed. If we got the 2 seed, we would have had to play the Packers. That would have been a better game for us to kind of get back on our feet, and maybe offense starts playing amazing. And maybe we do make the Super Bowl. No. Instead, we chose to rest our starters in that game and play the backups, and we still almost won, but it's just annoying that we had an opportunity. And I think for a fact things would have gotten better. We probably would still be alive in the playoffs. We would be playing this weekend if we played the Packers, because the Packers just were not a good team anymore because of injuries. And I thought, look, this is perfect game. Now, coming into this game, 49ers were also banged up, and they continued to get banged up with George Kittle being injured. And we still couldn't beat the 49ers. As the defending champions, that is annoying. Like I said, Kevin Patullo's been fired. Finally, can we get a better offensive coordinator? I hope so. My number 1 pick right now is Mike McDaniels. But we'll talk about that in the Eagles video. Hopefully by then, we'll have gotten Mike McDaniels, but everyone seems to be kind of going after Mike McDaniels, so hopefully we can get him. It really comes down to will he go from a head coaching position to a coordinator position? I hope so, because he's a better offensive coordinator than he is a head coach. So hopefully, but I can see him trying to remain as a head coach. But anyway, will that fix our offensive problems? I hope so. I hope getting the right coordinator fixes it. However, if we did somehow get Mike McDaniels, which I think there's a possibility, and this team flops next year, I don't think it's the coordinators. I don't think it's the head coach. I think it's Jalen Hurts. However, I'm not willing to write him off yet. He's gotten us to 2 Super Bowls. We've won 1. I'm not writing off Jalen Hurts. However, if he plays the way he did this next season with a different coordinator, assuming the coordinator is not worse than Kevin Patullo, which I don't know how you could get worse or much worse. It might not be the coordinators. And I think what will probably end up happening is Sirianni will be fired before we cut Jalen Hurts. Someone who I do think needs to be cut, A.J. Brown. Now, here we go. This is going to be kind of a mini crash out. A.J. Brown had the opportunity to catch 3. He dropped 3 pretty much wide open passes. The first one was kind of iffy. That might have been kind of Jalen Hurts' fault and his fault a little bit. Just a little bit off. Alright, I'm willing to say, okay, that's fine. But then on the very next play, and by the way, that was a deep ball that would have gotten us in the red zone. Now, on the next play, we go and throw it again to A.J. Brown. And he's even more, and he's actually open. And he drops it. Again. Now, the announcers were trying to say, well, the wind, it's wind. No, that was right through his hands. That was right through his hands. He should have caught that. But then, in the third quarter, when we really need offense, this is either third or fourth quarter, another potential first down dropped by A.J. Brown. And this time, he's actually wide open. Like, he's not covered at all. He's wide open. And that was right in his hands, and he somehow dropped it. It was almost like he was batting the ball down more than he was catching the ball. Now, I know that's not what he was doing, but it looked like what he did was he closed or took his eyes off the ball too early and thought he had it when he didn't. That should have been caught. That, for sure, should have been caught. Now, I liked A.J. Brown when he first came to Philadelphia from Tennessee. I saw him at Tennessee, and I thought, hey, he's not a bad receiver. Then we trade for him. I'm like, okay. We're actually going to have a receiver. I mean, we just got Devontae Smith as well, and we have 2 really good receivers. And he was amazing that first year. Awesome. Next year, he was, and that was the year we won the Super Bowl. Well, not won, we lost the Super Bowl that year. Then the next year, he was a little bit underwhelming, but still pretty good. This year, it was not, last year just wasn't really throwing the ball. No one was really throwing the ball that much to him, but he was still, when the ball was thrown to him, he was going to catch it, and he did catch it the majority of the time. Then there was this season. Now, the entire offense just was bad this year. So maybe it's not A.J. Brown's fault. Maybe it was Kevin Patullo's fault. However, those drops were not Kevin Patullo's fault. Those drops were his fault. Those last 2 for sure. The first one, like I said, a little bit iffy. But those last 2, he should have for sure caught. And he didn't. He caught any of those. we're building momentum. Those first 2 drops were in the first quarter. We're in the second quarter. Was in the first half. Each of those passes were first down passes. One of them was on a 4th down or like a 3rd down. Actually, I think 2 of them were like on a 3rd down. And he dropped them. And those were the 2 ones that he actually should have caught. Is he going to be one of our receivers next year? My guess is a no. Because now let's go back to the final play of the game. He is not necessarily wide open, but he only has 1 guy on him, unlike Dallas Goedert, who has 3, with another one coming in to knock the ball away. He has like 3 or 4 guys on him. And it looked like initially he would catch that, but then the 49ers guy came in at the last minute and knocked it away. He was too covered. Why are we throwing Dallas Goedert the ball when there's other guys on the team? Not that Dallas Goedert's a bad receiver. He's not a bad tight end. He's actually really good. However, you have guys who at least have 1 guy on him as opposed to 3. That's a lot more manageable. We didn't throw him the ball. We threw Dallas Goedert the ball, who is the most covered. Jalen Hurts trying to force it. He has legs. He can run, or at least get out of the pocket. And that's just what happened. We lost this game. There we had numerous opportunities to win this game, and we lost it. So, is this going to be fixed? Yeah. There's a lot that I think can be fixed with a different coordinator, and we'll see. But if this coordinator either flops, or we just understand now for a fact that it's maybe not a coordinator problem, maybe it's a Jalen Hurts problem, or maybe it's an O-line problem, or something like that. Maybe it's a coaching problem. Maybe it's not a coordinator problem. Maybe it's Sirianni. But that's speculation. That's if this next season goes the way this season did, with no offense and really good defense. I hope that's not what happens this next season, because this offense can play well. So, there's no reason, and these are pretty much some of the same guys from last year. At least offensively. Defensively, there was a few missing pieces, but even then the defense was still really good. So, I don't know. But anyway, that is my video on the Eagles-49ers game. That is another thing I will be doing next season. I will be making videos like this at the end of each game, starting next season when the next season starts. I started this season and I just stopped doing it. I don't know why, but that is something that will happen this upcoming season. So, that's another thing. But anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're on the road now to 600 subscribers. We've hit 500, so yeah. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be the score predictions for the AFC for the championship games. Anyway.